The Yamato-class battleships embodied the power and the hopes of the Imperial Japanese Navy in the Second World War. In the looming clash with the United States, these armored giants were meant to tip the scales. History chose otherwise. The majestic ships became symbols of defeat and frustrated ambition. From the outset, Japanese planners accounted for America's industrial might and its likely superiority in ships and aircraft. Their answer was the super battleship, a warship with guns of unprecedented caliber, near impenetrable armor, and ample sailing range. The class leader was the legendary Yamato. As intended, she mounted 460mm main guns and wore immensely thick armor. The second ship, the Musashi, was chosen as a flagship. She received reinforced radio suites, additional cabins, conference spaces and workrooms, and a heavier anti-air battery. The Navy envisioned the Musashi as a floating headquarters, yet still a brawler, unbeatable in a gun duel. Japan entered the wider war in 1940, and the Musashi soon began serving in her intended role. Senior officers, including Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the fleet's commander-in-chief, periodically came aboard. The ship made occasional sorties, but her chief adversaries were storms. American forces remained elusive, and the first real encounter went badly. On March 29, 1944, a U.S. submarine torpedoed Musashi, forcing her into dock for repairs. Only in October 1944 did the Musashi finally see major action. In the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the Japanese desperately needed the thunder of a floating fortress. A force centered on the Musashi was sent to help, but on the way, it ran into American submarines. The submariners didn't know exactly what they were facing, but rightly judged that such a massive target warranted priority. On the morning of October 24th, the Musashi's lookouts sighted U.S. carrier aircraft. Despite dense flak, the battleship took several bomb and torpedo hits. She stayed afloat, but the air attacks never let up. Bombs and torpedoes rained down all day. By nightfall, the Musashi had absorbed the blasts of roughly 40 munitions. The crew fought stubbornly for survival, and the ship's monolithic construction kept her up to the last, but everything has a limit. That evening, after yet another bomb strike, the Musashi's captain, Rear Admiral Toshihira Inoguchi, ordered the crew to abandon ship. 15 minutes later, the giant rolled, bowed under, and went to the bottom, taking more than 1,000 sailors with her. The Musashi's long, agonizing death foretold a grim future for super battleships. Their effectiveness in modern combat was collapsing. Plans for a second generation of such ships, the heirs to the Yamato, were pushed aside. Strategically, the loss of the Musashi exposed fatal miscalculations and signaled the shape of the defeat to come. For a time, the Japanese still hoped to wring some value from their super battleships, but the catastrophic end of the class leader, the Yamato, put paid even to the most modest of those hopes.